The evolution of the word Christian is fascinating. In the 19th century, your three highest paid speakers were atheists. There was Robert Ingersoll, Mark Twain, and Thomas Huxley, speaking of atheism. And they were brought into the White House, and they were embraced by candidates because bringing an atheist in showed the voters that you weren't going to be Southern Baptist or Lutheran. Right. Or Catholic. You weren't going to do any of those things. And atheists were kind of this, they were the carbon rods in the reactor that said, if we're okay with this guy, you're going to be fine with Bob's Southern Baptist cult. You know,
see, they've gone to Mormons now. That's kind of me.
Well, no.
Now people are just like, I'm okay with a Mormon. What am I going to do?
I'm going to get there. And then you get with the atheists get attached to socialism. And if I'm given a choice between a socialist and a Christian, I think it was Thomas Jefferson that said, I won't hesitate to go with the latter. I'll go with a Christian in a second over a socialist. So atheists get tied in there. And then you get to the 70s, and Roe v. Wade comes in, and some very, very intelligent people said, you know, we can't fight this with Catholics and Protestants and Baptists and Lutherans all disagreeing. We need an umbrella. And they kind of came up with the word Christian. The first president we have that calls himself a Christian is Jimmy Carter. Before that, you know, John F. Kennedy's a Catholic. Others are Baptist. Others are Lutheran. But they don't use the word Christian.
I would contend I can go back. I'm going to go back and...
They don't use that word.
I will go back and look for some of the founding...
But no, the founding fathers will use the word deist, and they will also use Adams, of course, used Protestant and used Methodist.
Right.
They'll use those. I'm not saying they weren't Christian.
Somebody get David Barton on the phone.
But they don't use that word. And then, in order to fight that, you get this big umbrella of Christians, which is what gives you 70% of the country being Christian, is not breaking it up by Catholics and Protestants and so on. And then we get to Mitt Romney, and we are now adding in the Mormons are now referring to themselves as Christians and getting in there. And most atheists flip out at the direction this is going. And I say, no, this is great, because we're next. We're next. They're going to go to American. That's the next word they're going to use. And then we're okay. We're in there. We're all right. But my point is, yes, let's just keep including.
Feel like a dummy sitting next to this guy. We just had David Barton on the phone, and yes, he's exactly right. They did not refer to themselves as Christians. They just referred to the nation as a Christian nation. So 1 point for the atheists on Christian history.